Hi there. It's nearing the end of April. Sorry. Haven't uploaded for a while, so I thought I'd do something. What to say, really? There's lots going on. I've been off of work for I think 6 weeks ish now. I've been furloughed, sorry, and I'm starting back tomorrow. They're sending me a tablet to use when it arrives in the post. Not sure when that's going to be. Not looking forward to it. When I started the job, they very much said like new people take like anywhere 2 to 3 months to sort of not ask questions or absolutely every call. And I was less than 2 months in, or just about 2 months in. And with my slow cognitive processing and my strong Asperger's traits and such, it takes me a lot longer to sort of get to grips with things, and I was very much still in the point of like asking almost every single call. So the idea of working from home without that support isn't great. I'm worried about it. I kind of rather go in and be with people, but no one else would be there really, I think. But I'm also in the category everyone's at risk, but I'm kind of in the category because I've got asthma, so I need to be fucking careful. I wasn't able to see my mum for her 70th, which really sucked. Thankfully, my housemate drove me over, and we sang happy birthday at the end of their drive and then left. I guess it was something, and it was really sweet of him to try and figure something out and try and make sure that I could see her and she could see me. So yeah, that was nice at least. But things are still really rough. I had my first psychiatry appointment the week before all this kicked off, and I had to miss my next appointment. I was supposed to have bloods and everything taken for some reason. I'm not sure it's connected, but I'm not sure how. That was all put off. I've thankfully got a telephone thing in about another 2 and a bit weeks, which is good. At least it's still going, but it feels like another goalpost that's been pushed forward again, with no real end in sight. Like there's no, and I know that everyone is in the same boat, and everyone's experiencing uncertainty, especially the poor, self-employed, and sex workers, and whatever you do that means you have to rely on yourself to make the money, as opposed to like working for someone. And even people that work for smaller companies and such, like right now I'm very at war with myself because I'm sad because I'm sad. I'm sad because I'm lonely and I want to have someone. And I'm very fortunate that I've still got a job. I've got a roof over my head. My company's paying me the 80% that the UK government are paying out, and all these things. But life is very subjective to the person who's living it. So although there are good things, there are also things that are weighing me down, and that sadness is overpowering. And unless you suffer from mental health issues or whatever, or had your own hardships in life, like some people are able to drag themselves through hardships and say they've been through a life of hell or been adopted or been abused and things like that, but they don't have sort of mental health issues as well. They'll only know those hardships. They won't know the hardships that people with mental health do as well. And you can empathize and you can care and you can worry about people, but sometimes you won't know unless you experience it yourself. And again, it's subjective. And although I know I'm really lucky in certain aspects, I just don't feel whole. And no one will ever really 100%, and I know this, no one will ever 100% feel the gap that I'm looking to fill with a partner. I know it, but in my subconscious, and as PC as I like to be, and I want to be, and I want to be as inclusive as possible, my heteronormative brain is telling me you need to be with someone, you need to have someone there, someone needs to love you, someone needs to care for you. And sometimes the kink does come into that, and the kink relationships that I'm looking for, and the connection I'm looking for, will help fulfill some of those things, but deep down I know it's me that needs to change and work on things. I'm still in regular therapy and I try and talk about things, but I get so enveloped in the now that I can't see forward of that. I can't remember, because it's been a while since I've done my last video, when I went for the first psychiatry appointment, the doctor and the trainee that was with her were what I think now is the fifth, sixth or seventh medical professional that have told me they think I've got BPD, borderline personality disorder, or emotionally unstable personality disorder. First being therapist, then the doctor, the GP, then his senior, the clinical psychologist in the in A&E, or ER as the Americans might call it, that doctor, and then I think there's someone else as well. I can't remember who it was, but I was still speaking about it with my therapist. So I think there's like anywhere between 5 and 7 people that within minutes are like, yep, you've got it. But I still haven't got that diagnosis. And unfortunately with that while I wait for that diagnosis, I'm a bit floundering. I can't blame anyone for this time delay this time round at all, with what we're all experiencing for COVID and whatever else. Like, yeah, just like I said, it feels like goalposts just moved again, and it sucks. I feel like I just feel very lost and alone, And although I've got friends and people that I can be close to and chat to, it just isn't enough, really. It's not easy. People think that being on the fetish scene and being open and having open relationships and being poly and all this stuff, and think, oh my god, you must get laid and you must come into contact with people and you know all these people, whatever else, means fucking nothing. If you're in the kind of headspace that I'm in, and you could go to an event, go to Antichrist, go to Torch Garden, go to whoever, you're like, cool, I'm around my kind of people, awesome, yeah, that makes me feel good, nice. But if you're longing for someone that you click with, it's painful. I've all but stopped using my FetLife account. I've stopped posting on Facebook and Instagram. Because I feel a lot of times I feel invisible. Like I always have it. I always did at school. And in all honesty, like I've posted adverts on like Reddit and such, and I keep an eye on certain groups, and I try and reach out to people, and just hardly anything, and it's never anyone any close to me. Like, I had a message today from someone on Reddit, and I'm like, okay, cool, nice, whatever. I live in Germany. Like, a few months ago, I had to change my message, my post that I put up, to not looking for long distance or online. And I'm still getting people, the few that contact me are like, oh, I'm in Portsmouth or Devon or wherever, and I'm like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm bitching now. I mean, I don't know, I feel like this has taken a turn I wasn't hoping it would. It's very hard. I haven't been in a proper relationship for over 5 years. I've had play partners and people that I've fallen for, which has been great when I've been with them. But when things break down, or we break up, or things end, or however, it might as well have been a marriage, because it hurt as much. And in all honesty, I'm not over my last play partner. I'm not. I just really wanted it to work. But I don't know why it ended. It tortures me every day to know that I wasn't right enough, wanted, all those things. wasn't meant to be. I don't know if I'm going to post this. I don't know what purpose it'll serve. And I don't know if they're following me or keep tabs on my videos or what. So, do I want them to know? Do I want other people to see this? I don't know. Sometimes I don't care and I just want to reach out and have someone comfort me. And as much as I want that at times, it's like putting a plaster over a bullet hole. Just not enough. But what my heteronormative what's the word? Hopeful, whatever the word for hopeful I'm looking for is, whatever my optimistic heart wants and is holding out for isn't what will make me whole. But trust me, it'll fucking help. It'll really help. When I last saw my ex-wife, and we spoke about relationships and stuff, she was kind of seeing one person at one point, but she hasn't been with anyone essentially since we broke up. And I have, and I've been looking actively, and I've still not found anyone that will want to care for me and be with me as much as I want to be with them. And that last person, we clicked on levels that I've never clicked with others on. Like, music is such a big thing for me. It's an incredibly huge thing for me. And I was able to share that with them. And I know it's really sad and ridiculous, but when I showed them my favourite band and my two favourite songs from them, there was such an enthusiastic response that, like, just, yeah. I don't know. It's very hard. At least, like, I challenge my thoughts a lot more than I used to, and when the depression takes over and it's like no one wants me, no one cares, no one whatever, at least part of me is trying to fight back and says, at least you've got a reply, at least someone's read your thing, at least someone wants to engage with you or maybe get to know you. So I do try and fight it as much as I can, but trust me, it's exhausting. I recently splurged a little money. I got myself an iPad, and I've been trying to have a creative output. The first day I sat down and done a tutorial. I was having a very bad day, and just the voices in my head telling me I wasn't good enough. I'm too slow, I'm not talented enough, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm taking too long, all these things. The rest of that day and then the day after, I hadn't been that low in a long time. And yes, I'm pulling myself up through by my bootstrings, as if to say, and trying to keep on. But I'm really tired. I'm really, really tired. I don't know what else to say, really. Some days are better than others. And although I have got a bit more of a creative outlet, and I can create some things, like I was using a maziograph on the iPad last night for quite a fair few hours. That was helping, that was fun, really enjoyed that. But sometimes you just want to fall asleep holding someone, or have them fall asleep on you. And I think that it just hurts that I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if I'll post this. Just hope that someone sees and can understand. If you are watching this and you don't have mental health issues, and you're trying to understand others that may do, people you love, people you're related to, people in your family, whoever, please just give them time, listen to them, but also try and be aware of what they do say and what they don't, because sometimes what they don't say is something they're screaming for more than you'll ever know. No one's asking you to be a mind reader. What some people are asking you for is to be a friend, is to be an ear, to be unjudgmental. The worst thing you can ever say to someone with these issues is, oh, it's not that bad, the X has got it worse than you, or look at this person and look what they've done. To me, that doesn't mean shit. Or, and this is very something that I try to make people aware of, I don't get comfort from knowing that somebody else struggles. I don't. Oh, someone else, so theoretically, someone else has got depression that put them in hospital. Great. Why will that make me happier? Why will that make things easier for me? It doesn't. I don't want anyone, literally anyone, to go through what I do. I don't. Not one single person. Never. I hate this so much. I curse this so much. I do not want another living person to deal with it. I don't. And I get zero fucking comfort knowing that anyone else in the world has to go through this shit. It's why whenever any one of my friends, anyone talks about their low mood or their depression or mental health issues, I will listen to them. I'll listen. And I will do what I can for them. Often at times putting them before myself. Because I don't want anyone to feel like this. No one should have to feel like this. It fucking sucks. It's pain. When I got my left foot tattooed back mid-March, that was possibly the most pain I've ever physically been through. Parts of my right foot were bad. The majority of my left was hell on earth. Over 4 and a bit hours of just fucking hell. But you know what? In the last, coming up to a year, the mental pain and the mental exhaustion is so much worse. Just is. It's a different kind of pain, and often you can't really compare them because they're so drastically different. But what I've been through since minimum October time, because my mental health started really going down about June last year, but from October time I spent far longer than I should do looking at the drawer next to my bed that held my medication. And it's hard to say, no, I don't really want to elaborate on that, but you can guess why I was looking at that drawer. Several times a day, loads of times a day, I would either look at the mirror by my front door, the door to my bedroom, or that drawer, just looking at the state of myself and how bad it was. There are things that drive me mad in the world, and I would want to be different, and I want to stop certain people, political figures and whatever else, for being the way they are. Oh God, I've lost my train of thought. Please be nice to people. Please be kind. Please help those you care about. You'll never know sometimes what someone's going through. I've turned up at events and seen people and had fun, and I've spoken to them the next day, and they're like, oh, How are you after last night? So, yeah, not great. So, oh, why? You looked okay last night. You looked like you were having fun, etc., etc. You'll never 100% know what someone's going through in their head. Like you just don't know. Like they say that like 5% of the world's population are serial killers or something, so you never know how far you are from, or how many psychopaths or killers you've walked past in the street. That goes the same for people that are suffering mental health issues or just general life crap. You never know. You could pass someone who's made $1 million but they look like shit. Like I always think about Max Cavalera from the band Sepultura. Like he looks like a homeless dude. He has Converse that he puts gaffer tape round to keep them together. Yet that guy's minted. Like the guys from Slayer. Like they earn a pretty fucking penny. But they still just look like average t-shirt wearing dudes. And the same goes for everything else. Like you don't know who is suffering. You don't know who has debilitating physical illnesses or mental illnesses. So please just try and be there for other people. Try and be kind. Try and help. Do what you can without putting yourself in the same positions, because sometimes you do need to look after yourself over other people, but it doesn't hurt to try and put yourself out there a bit either. Anyway, half hour of me just talking crap. Don't know if I've made sense. I'm always worried that I've contradicted myself or just waffled on for far too long, which is what I generally do, because I've probably beaten the longest video I've ever done, and I don't know who will make it through, but thank you for watching and listening, because often I feel like the only person that can listen and does listen I have to pay for. Anyway, yeah, I have to leave this now. If you make it to the end, thanks.